Hi guys, my name is Sam if you are new here, and if you are not new here, hey girl, how are you doing? So today I'm going to be doing part video number dose of the Jaclyn Hill x Morphe Vault collection. I already did Bling Boss last time. It was a cut crease, which will be linked right here. One of these places. Go watch that one if you have not before. But for this one, as you can tell by the title, it is Ring the Alarm. This is the more reddish type of palette. It looks a little bit like this. It is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, everything you could ever want in your life. And this is the eye look that I came up with by using this palette. I will say, and I will mention it also later on the video, I do use almost every single color in this palette, which means that your look may not be exactly like mine because I am mixing a bunch of shades. So if you tend to mix more purple than the red, more red than the purple, your look will turn out a little different. But that's what I absolutely love about this look, because even I've done this look 2 or 3 times now and it's come out a little different every time. I'm gonna stop ranting and raving about how amazing everything is, because we all know that she is my queen for life. So if you want to figure out how I mixed almost every single shade in this palette together and created the look that you see right here, then keep on watching. So a few things before we get into the look. Number one, I am sorry that this kind of took a little while to do, the second part of this mini series episode. But that is for 2 reasons. Number one, I somehow messed with my eyes because my contacts, and I think I was wearing contacts for too long and my eyes were basically bloodshot and crazy. So that's not fun, and nobody wants to see a makeup tutorial when your eyes look like that. And number 2, I purchased Jaclyn Hill's new brush collection, the of course the biggest one that was like $165, because that's just who I am as a person. And they were supposed to come in by now, and I thought it would be really cool to do the next 3 looks using her brushes too. But they haven't come in yet. They're supposed to come in a few days, so I'll definitely have them for the last 2. And same as the last video, all of my face makeup, brows, cheeks are done already, just because, like I said previously, I've done 2 videos now on my face makeup and how I do it. This is using the Ring the Alarm palette, and I am pretty much going to be using almost every single color in this palette just because I've been playing around with it. And when you first look at the palette, it seems like it's almost divided between a purple look or a red look, and I really wanted to find a way to bring the red and the purples together into one look and make it look cohesive and not completely crazy or out there. And I found a way. I think it looks very pretty. So I literally, I'm not even kidding, I used the entire bottom and these 2 on top. That's the way I like it. We're gonna be extra, we're gonna be extra. So I am going to stop rambling on. I'm gonna zoom you guys in and we are going to get started. This is going to be a very quick type of video. Okay, so my eyes are already primed, I guess. I use concealer and then I set the concealer with translucent powder. I have oily skin, but my eyelids are not oily. I don't really know how the logistics of that works. I could not tell you, but I have nothing really to recommend to you for oily eyelids, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know what I'm talking about when I don't. I'm going to take a nice fluffy brush that looks like this. This is from BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to be taking the color Rush right here on the top. It is a nice orangey pumpkin spice latte type of color, and I am just going to blend this into the transition portion of my eyelid. And now I am just going to be doing the same on the other side. Now I'm going to be taking a fluffy brush like this. This one is one of the pointy ones that I have, and this is a Morphe brush. It doesn't have a name on it, it just says Morphe, so I'm not sure. Maybe it was one of the sets. And I am going to be going into Siren and Mugshot, a mix of both. I am going to make it a little more purpley, so maybe for every 2 dips of Siren, I do 1 dip of Mugshot. And I'm going to go in with an extremely light hand at first. This is something we are definitely gonna have to build up. If you go in too much first, you might have a weird ratio of purple to the brown, and it might look way too purpley, and there's really no going back from that. So we're gonna go in really gently just to make sure I like it. And we're gonna be putting this in the lower transition area like this, not as high up as the other one. Okay, so now that I have that blended, kind of, we're gonna go back in with the first brush we used, and we're gonna go back in with Rush just a little bit and blend out the edges up here. Okay, now that that is nice and blended, we are going to take a nice smaller fluffy brush. This one is much denser and smaller, more compact. And we are going to be taking Framed and Secret on the bottom. Again, I would do a very little dab of each. These are both much darker types of tones, so you don't want to go too heavy-handed with these. We will build them up as we have been doing with all of the colors. So I'm going to take this and put it right in the outer V. I like to stamp it down in place first, and then slowly fade it inwards. You definitely want to make this color deeper than the color that we just put in the lower transition, so you can see a difference between the two colors. Because the browns and the purples that I've been mixing are very similar shades, it's easy to make it all blend together and look like a big mush. So definitely keep going until you figure out whether you need to add more brown or more purple to either or, to make sure that they look like different shades and not the same shade. So right now to this, I'd probably add a little more purple to make it stand out a little more on the eye, like that. So now you can tell that this is much more purpley than the lower transition color, so it doesn't look like a big mess of just purple. They look like 2 separate shades, which is what you're looking for. I'm just gonna do the same exact thing on the other eye. Okay, so now we are going to take a very complicated mixture of bomb ass on the bottom and on camera on the top. And now this is probably the most difficult part of the tutorial, not because of the shadows or a technique or whatever. It's just finding the perfect balance between these 2 shades. So you almost can't mix them evenly, because then it's really complicated. You'll see how long it's probably gonna take me to find this perfect balance. It's gonna be complicated. There's gonna be trials and tribulations, but if there was no trials and tribulations in any of my videos, would I be me? Like, no. So we're gonna go in with my middle finger. I like to go in with bomb ass first and put that as a base, and then I'll take a different finger, go in with on camera and put that over it, and I'll tap it on a little bit, and then I adjust the ratio from there. So if you need a little more bomb ass, I use a brush at that point and I'll put it on. And we're just gonna keep tweaking it until we find the perfect ratio that we like, that works with the eye color, that works with our skin tone. It seems complicated, it kind of is, but it's just more patience and time consuming than anything. So I'm gonna go in with bomb ass first with my finger. And here is where the complications start. So I'm just gonna kind of tap it on. So now I have them on. I think it might be a little too gold. I'm gonna take my flat brush for the lid. I'm gonna do a mixture of both, and I'm gonna try to kind of perfect this a little bit, really get in the inner corner there. I don't want it on the bottom though. Clean it up. Oh, these colors together are just so beautiful. Like, you might be like, Sam, why didn't you just use on camera? Wouldn't that be easier? But these colors together, and then with the purple, I think it seems like an odd combination in the palette, but now I see why she put these all together. It just looks so beautiful. They look gorgeous layered. They obviously look gorgeous by themselves as is, but layered, these two colors just, they do something for me. I don't know what it is. It is in my heart and my soul, but it's there and it's doing something for me. I'm gonna leave that alone because I like how it looks now. I'm gonna go back in with this blending brush. I'm gonna go back in with a mix of Framed in Secret and just kind of blend up on this a little bit, not much, just a little bit. This side, I don't know why it's like blending weird. I think it's my eye and not the shadows, because the shadows are blending beautifully on this side. And I did this look previously to make sure it would look nice enough to do on camera, and they worked fine. So if you see a little like weirdness on this eye, I think it's just my eye. And now again, for the last time, we're gonna take this brush again, go back in with Rush, and go back over the edges. I know this seems so excessive, but it is so necessary. You have no idea. For under the eyes, some people don't like to smoke out their lower lash line, so you don't have to do this if you do not like to. But I'm going to take a little bullet blending brush, and I'm gonna go in with a mix of Siren and Mugshot first and blend that underneath. And now I want to make it just a little more purple. So I'm actually going to take a very, very tiny brush like so. I'm going to dip into Framed and just put this on the outer portion of my lower lash line. So there is no inner corner or brow highlight in this one, so I'm not going to do it. I know when Jaclyn does her tutorials with these, if there's not one in the palette, she'll use one from a different palette. I'm not gonna do that just because it's not in there, so I'm not gonna use it. But if you have the other palettes or any other palettes or a highlighter or something at home, you can go in if you like that at this point. I usually don't even really like doing it on me. I think it makes me look really odd, so I don't prefer to do an inner corner and brow highlight. So now would be the time for all of you at home, if you enjoy that step and you have a highlighter that you like to use for that, go in, use that. So now what I'm gonna do off camera, because it'll probably take me like 80 million years, is I'm just gonna go in with my NYX matte liquid liner. I'm gonna do a wing. I'm gonna go in with my Better Than Sex mascara, which is currently absolutely disgusting, and I'm going to pop on some lashes, which are gonna be the Ardell Wispies, and after I do that, I will be back. Okay, so now I'm going to take a lip liner. This is in the color Satin Mauve 6 by Essence. I've gotten this at Ulta. And just gonna Slightly overline, not too bad though. Now I am taking the NYX Liquid Suede in Soft Spoken. I think I've definitely used this before on my channel. This is my favorite nude ever. Okay, so this is the completed look. These are my Sunset Jaclyn Hill Ring the Alarm palette eyes and a very nude lip. I think there's a lot of different lip colors that you can use for this look. You don't have to use the one I used. You could use any nude. A ton of different things, girl. Do your own thing, okay? You don't have to follow me. Oh, you can do you. So with all of that being said, please be sure to subscribe down below, comment any other video ideas you have. I will be doing the 2 other palettes in this mini series, so those are 2 more ideas that I have for now. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like the look I recreated. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.